Hey everybody, it's Professor Algozzine. Today for our cooking video, I'm doing a chicken curry. What I have here in the pan is some bacon fat from the bacon I cooked for breakfast, and bacon grease just makes a really nice flavor. But you don't have to use bacon grease. You can use any kind of oil, olive oil, some vegetable oil. And here we have just some diced chicken breast. And if I can get it to come off the cutting board, and get a bunch in there. I don't want to overcrowd the pan, so I'm going to get a bunch of it in there. That was a really spazzy way to do it, so here, that's a little better. Alright, got some chicken going. I'll do it in batches. So, you don't want to overcrowd it because then it tends to sweat a little bit too much. And I want to talk about seasoning. When you're making a curry, there's lots of different ways you can do it. And there's lots of different curries, for that matter. I'm a fan of the Kormas, the coconut curries. And I usually cheat. I go with something like this. Patax makes really nice stuff. This is a Korma curry simmer sauce. It's already got the coconut milk in it, so I'm probably going to use that today. But there's lots of different ways that you can do it. And sometimes I am going to use some of this today. I'm a big fan of Watkins brand curry powder. It's really, really high quality stuff. I get it every year at the Dutchess County Fair. I'm also a fan of stuff directly from India. So here's one that one of my grad students brought to me. This is from the Bafat region of India, and it's Bafat powder. It's really, really good stuff. And then, you use those, and then you add your own coconut milk. You make a paste with the powder, or you cook with the powder and oil, and then you add the coconut milk to simmer it down and to really, even out that flavor. So this is going well so far. It's exactly what I want. I want this chicken to get some browning on it, a little brown color, because color is flavor. I'm going to get this going here. And while I've got this flipping over to get browned on the other side, the other thing that I've got a whole bunch of already sliced up veggies. And you want to have your veggies cooked ahead of time, chopped ahead of time, so that you can cook them right away in the curry. That's really important. So I've got carrot, pepper, celery, broccoli, some green onion, some yellow onion, and mushrooms, all waiting to be tossed into this delightful curry that we're making here. Curries come together really fast. It's another reason why I enjoy cooking them. Okay, this is getting nice and browned. It doesn't have to cook all the way through because you're going to throw it back in and simmer it a little bit more. But chicken breast cooks fast. Don't overcook it. It'll get tough. I'm going to strain this out. Let me see. What have I got? I'm going to use a little paper towel to collect some of the oil. I'm just going to strain this in a straining basket. Best way to get it out. I'm going to go ahead and use something big like this that's slotted to get this stuff out of here. I'm just going to pull these out, because this first batch looks great. Like that. This is going to be so fast, you don't have to worry about losing juices from the meat, because we're going to get all of this cooked. Alright, I'm going to have my camera crew helper grab the olive oil from the cabinet behind us. Because this needs a little more olive oil, or a little more oil, a little more fat. And just using a little EVOO, just like that, doesn't hurt a thing. Now, that last batch of chicken came together so fast, I didn't have a chance to put any seasoning in it. That's okay. There's plenty of time to season. When it comes to a curry, it really doesn't matter exactly when you add it. I'm going to add some of this lovely Watkins curry powder now, just so you can see how that cooks up. I wish you could smell it. As soon as the curry hits the pan, it just changes the aroma so much, and it's so beautiful and so mild, and just all those lovely spices. So this is coming together nice. And just get this to brown a little bit on the other sides. Flip any over that don't look like they had flipped. Shook and stirred. And I want that one over. Good. That looks good. Let's get that one over. Put this one up on end. Alright, this is coming together nice. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing in a second here. I'm going to yank this chicken out because I don't want it all to turn rock hard. You know, you need to cook in batches. That's probably like the most difficult thing. Alright, we're going to be putting the veg in here in a second. Excuse my reach, I just need some salt and pepper. Salt and pepper's always good with the veggies. And one of the things you want to do with your vegetables is you want to add them in order of crunchiness, if you will. Right? You don't want to say add green onions first, because they'll just burn. As a matter of fact, you don't want to add your onions right away either. You want to add in the things that are heavier, that are going to take longer to cook. For me, the list I gave you, that's carrot. Carrot is definitely going into this pan first. And I don't know if you can see the difference on that chicken color, but the white of the chicken that was cooked without a curry, and then the yellow, the beautiful yellow that comes from the curry on the second batch. Not to worry, plenty of time to add curry for the rest of this. Okay, like I said, it's going to come together fast. We're going in with some carrot. Carrot takes a little while, so get that carrot in there. Don't be afraid to use a little more oil. You want a nice high heat on this to get that carrot. Okay, we're cooking that. Now, in our family, when we cook our veggies, most of us like them a little crunchy when we eat them. Right? So you can cook your vegetables however you like. If you want mushy vegetables, you can even pre-cook, right? I could have just as easily had these simmering in some water, boiled the water, and then had them soften right up by boiling them in water. But they're going to be just fine, just like this. Okay, I think I'm going to add the peppers next. Yeah, I got some red and some greens. They'll cook up pretty quick. Broccoli takes a little while. We'll get that in here. Okay. I'm going to show you another little secret thing that I do sometimes. All my friends from India would probably frown on this, but there's nothing wrong with cooking with liquids, and I like particular liquids to cook with. Usually some wine. If you're going to cook with wine, you don't have to use the really good stuff. I'm just going to use my wife's boxed wine. Toss a little white wine in that. And then what we want is we just want a top to slap over that pan like that, and just let the veggies steam a little bit. Right, because that steaming is going to soften and quicken the cooking time for our vegetables. You can see how much heat there is in there and how much steam there is just from that, the evaporation on the top of that fry pan. This also keeps it from drying out, so instead of all of the liquid just evaporating immediately, it hits the top of the pot cover here, and then it rolls back in, and it just continues to kind of saute and cook those veggies down a little bit. So I'm always tempted to just get back in there. Look at that. Isn't that looking good? Flip these around. My carrots are getting a little bit of golden on them. They're getting a little caramelization. That's brilliant. Okay, see how the broccoli turned that dark green? It's starting to cook just from the steaming. It's looking really good. I'm going to toss in all the celery next. My wife likes celery. And I'm going to toss in the yellow onion next. Big chunks, little chunks, put it in however you want. Remember, you're not making a sauce here, you're making a meal. This should be vegetables. So you want all your veggies cut a little on the big side, right? Okay. I'm going to put just a little more oil in here so we get a nice crisp on them. Toss those in the pan a little bit like that. Of course, now you're going to hear my daughter's voice going in the middle of that with one piece of celery got away from us. And we're going to go like this again with the wine. We'll just cover that up. Get those to steam a little bit. Alright, we're going to do seasoning here in a second. I only have 2 more veg to put in here. This is coming together really fast now. You know, the first thing you usually want to do if you're going to do a curry is you get your rice going. So we washed our rice. We've got the rice cooking in our pot. I'm not a big rice steamer kind of guy. We just cook our rice on low simmer in a pot. Comes out just fine. I know the steamers work well. I just never invested in one. Don't really feel like I need one. We kind of got this. Letting these vegetables steam nicely here. Got it up on really high heat. Bring my heat down a little bit. And when you pull up your top like that, make sure that you let the steam away from you and get the water out of the top to actually go back into the pan. Don't lose that water. A lot of people pull that pot top off right away. Oh, now this is perfect. Right, these veggies have steamed enough in there that they've all softened. They're still going to be crisp. We still have cooking time remaining. The bane of my wife's existence, we're going in with some lovely mushrooms. She's not a fan. You hear her making comments in the background. We're tossing these green onions. I could probably even have waited on the green onions until the very last. But I'm going to go ahead and put it in now. And now we're going to hit this with some more curry powder. I like this stuff. And I haven't really been putting any salt in, but I'm going to go ahead and put some in now. And pepper. You could put whatever you want in here. If you like spicy, put some pepperoncini in here, a little red pepper flake. Just give this a toss to incorporate all of that good seasoning. What do you say we hit it with wine one more time, huh? I definitely think we should. I want those mushrooms to soften up a little bit. I don't want to go too crazy, but wine never hurt anybody, and plus it's fun when I do this. Once around, twice around, 3 times around. Cover that. Turn the heat up so it boils up good. Now, we've got our chicken ready to go back in. We're going to do that in just a second here. And then it's going to be time. Ooh. Ooh. There she goes. It's going to be time to put in our korma curry simmer sauce. See all that steam coming out? And you can just shift your pot top a little bit and get the steam to go the other way. That is definitely steaming all those awesome veg, getting everything to come down. Turn the temp down a little bit. because now we're going to be heading to a simmer. Okay, so I'm turning this down to medium heat at this point. It takes a while for the burner to cool off anyway. Come up, watch that steam, get all that good liquid off the top, back in the pan where it belongs. This is just about perfect. Now, you could just simmer vegetables like this in a korma sauce. You don't have to use meat, right? You know, here in the Algozzine household, we are big meat eaters. So, I'm all about the meat. That looks really good. And we're going to put this in here.
Did you just say I'm all about the meat?
Yes, Zachary, I did. And now it's on video, you making fun of me. Thanks for that. I am all about the meat. My son, from the other room, always a clown. Look at this, how this came together, just like that. All I had to do is dump that chicken back in here. And as if that isn't awesome enough, man, if you were just doing a stir fry, you could stop right here. All right, you could have seasoned this however you want. But I got news for you, folks. Tonight, it's curry. I don't know that I want the whole jar in there. Let me just hold back a little bit. And now you stir this up. That's going to melt down. You want to turn your heat way down at this point. Simmer. You just have to bring the sauce up to temp and let this simmer long enough for the chicken to cook the rest of the way through. Now, it depends on how soupy you want this. I think I can go the rest of the way with the jar, and as a matter of fact, because it's going to simmer for a little while, another thing I can do is we add a little water to the jar. Okay, because a little bit of water will cook out of it anyway. This way we don't waste anything. We make sure we get it all. See, it's still plenty thick. We'll just put that in there. Okay, and the top, I'm going to go one more time. Okay, add that. That'll cook right off anyway and leave all that deliciousness in there where it belongs. Deliciousness. This is exactly what we want. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you chicken and vegetable korma curry. That's all there is. We plate this up over some rice after it simmers for a little while, and we are good to go. So I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you got a good view of that. That is quite the pan of curry that we just brought together. That's 2 chicken breasts worth that I cooked in there, in case you were keeping track of the ingredients. I'm just going to tuck everything in nicely like that. And I'm going to put the top on it and let it simmer for a little while. So from my kitchen to you, during this time when you're should be studying probably, but instead you find yourself drawn to watching Professor Algozzine cook. There it was, my chicken vegetable curry. See you next time.